What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa. Alrighty here. Today has been such a great opportunity to just allow the Creator to drop some gold nuggets in the spirit. You know, I just did a couple of videos and I'm looking at the comments, which I rarely do, just to see if there are those who are applying or are pliable for messages that are sent your way. To see, you know, the response and all that right there. It's amazing that even my video that I titled "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye," that people have interpreted that I am in a lonely place, that I'm having some psychological issues, that you know, maybe I'm a little disturbed. By all means, apparently these people must be new to my channel, because those who have grown to know me and seeing what I do on my channel, I have grown beyond being lonely. I have grown beyond having regrets, especially from the past. But let's talk about this, family, because messages that go out, people have a hard time receiving and internalize it for themselves. They have a hard time applying messages and find it that it might be suitable for other people besides themselves. These type of people have difficulties in life growing because they have become non-pliable, unpliable, whatever word may fit or suit. There are people who can watch the video and get stuck on something and can't even receive the rest of the message. Like when I spit in the video. People got that comment in there and missed the point. But that's okay, because there's something that dropped in my spirit. And that is, all messages are not for those who hear because they have deafening ears. This is why what the Creator said, he who has an ear, let him hear. Because everybody who has ears are not hearing. You know, the old saying is, you know, when messages are given, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Okay, I get it. But let me just switch that up a little bit. Because I believe it's more than just eating something and spitting out. Let's take that concept on the fruit side. Because it says that in the scrolls that you typically can judge a man by the fruit he bears. Now, that fruit he bears is typically an indication on who he is. But what is the fruit? See, the fruit could be his children. The fruit could be his business, how he conducts business, his marriage. Typically, these fruits are indications on how or who an individual is. Let me break that down. Somebody say, you scratched your nose on video. Yeah, I did. And I'm going to spit again here in a minute too, as much as I'm draining. We eat watermelon. We eat grapes. We eat papayas. We eat these different fruits that actually bear seeds. Sad to say that today it's hard to find, unless you're in Africa, fruits with seeds. But in eating the seed, eating the fruit, one will either chew on the seed or spit out the seed. But the main goal is trying to eat the flesh. Now, when you eat the meat and spit out the bones are dead. It has no more life. It disintegrates and it does not give you a return. Now stay in mind, because I know that some people ain't catching this. So I got to do it in layman terms. This ain't just for everybody, because there are people with deaf ears. When you receive a message, right? Man. When you receive a message, it's said in the scrolls that there are those that fall, the message falls on good ground, barren ground, fruitful ground. When that message hits an individual, it depends on where that individual is at or where that person is. All messages are for someone if you are open to hear. Eating a fruit, let's just keep it in terms, okay? So because hey, people said to Yeshua, "Why do you speak in parables? Why can't you speak plainly?" And his response was, if you can't understand heavenly messages, how are you going to be able to understand earthly messages? Because you're supposed to be spiritual first. So messages that you receive, what does apply to you? What agrees to you? And I say agree to you, not in a sense that you are relating to it, because I don't like to use the words agree and disagree, but how do you take what you receive and apply? You see, people think that every message, oh, that's not for me, no, I don't know what he's talking about. See, you missing out. The eating of the fruit is the message. The seeds really is life. Why? You spit out a seed. There's going to be some that fall on good ground, some that fall on barren ground, right? There are going to be some that just fall and on a ground and it doesn't take root. Now, barren ground is the hard-headed people. These are the ones who think they know everything, think they got it together, and think they know it. So it's like they're just not going to receive because they're not good ground. They're just barren. Good ground are those people who are open to receive a message and use it for their benefit. Not trying to take the message to somebody else and think it's going to help them. Not take it out there and try to broadcast it to try to use it against others or try to help somebody else, but one who's going to take it and say, before I do anything with this, I'm going to apply it to me to see how I can utilize this. And then there's those who just, are on this ground that are in between, I'll say. That they hear the message, but as soon as they receive it, the enemy, as it says in the scrolls, come along and takes it away because they're not ready yet. They claim they are, but they're really not. And the message can't take root. But that seed that falls on the good ground, you see, it goes inside a man's psyche, hits his spirit, and it begins to take root. Because where the one message comes, another one's coming too. Because that worst message, that word is going to germinate. Not all seed can germinate because it's not in the right so-called environment. When you're not in the right environment, messages go in and out of your ears, above your head, and everywhere. But when you're in a right place, that message is going to take root and it's going to grow. And then all of a sudden your spirit becomes open, ready to receive what is really going to be able to create change in you. We as a people are a stiff-necked people. We're not pliable. Y'all heard about the potter's wheel and all this right here. And the Creator said, y'all are just a stiff-necked people. don't want to listen, don't want nobody telling you anything, and your dang show ain't trying to apply nothing for change. But the messages that I'm hearing, I'm just, like I said, the voice in the wind putting out a video. Is up for you to apply for yourself, or you thinking it's applying to me because you thinking, oh, he's lonely, this and that. He's definitely going through some trying times. Hey, yo, I'm past that in growth. I'm giving this for you so that you can prepare yourself if you go on a journey. This is what you'll be confronted with. Lonely? Let me say something about lonely, family. If you can't stand to be by yourself, and I'm going to give you indications to show that you don't even like to be by yourself. If you cannot stand to be by yourself in a quiet place, the TV turned off, the computer's turned off, the earbuds out of your ear, and sit still in a quiet room, you will not grow. We're so accustomed of being surrounded by sound and distractions and people. I tested myself. I put myself through solitude or isolation, inwardly and outwardly. A beautiful place to be. Lonely? Let me share with you all. A man who is able to recognize that he's never alone because he has the spirit of the Creator. The first and foremost company one should be around. Finds that treasure. Remember what the treasure is. If you don't know, I think that you need to go on the journey or go back to a couple of videos I was talking about. Now people say, oh, you got your own definitions and all that right there. Well, words and terminologies, are basically, if you don't like one word, it's another word you can find is going to be to have the same. When you cannot look within yourself and be the so-called, I like to call it the grading your report card. Going through every crack and crevice of your inside of you, knowing, picking yourself apart. Knowing that you can be open and honest and say, these are the areas that I need to perfect. These are areas that I need to clean up. These are the areas that I need to change. But we're so quick to respond to somebody thinking it is applying to them. Is he talking about himself? Oh man, this might be my mother, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my aunt, my husband, my wife, but you miss a point in the message that is ready to set you free. Because the message, all right, is the fruit. The seed is what bear witness to what you're receiving by growth. I know there are those who not even understand it, but I know there are those who are. I say to you all here, in today's world, be prepared that everything has messages. A plant has a message. A building, a billboard, everything around you has a message. And if you're open enough, it will speak to you. In the scrolls, it said that a horse spoke to our brother when he was mistreating and beating it. Now you would say, how in the world can a horse talk to you? When you are in tune in the spirit, things will speak out loud to you. Do a test the next time you mistreat a child, or you say something to a person and they give you a look that's 1,000 words. Try when a fly lands on your food and you whisk it away and then it comes back and back. Or a cat, that we have many cats out here, that sits by your feet, meow, and it will get louder, saying, feed me, please feed me. Or the chickens who go by your feet, or the goats. Look, I've been in places that they have come around, and you know what? They speak loud. When you hear the birds chirp and giving message to other animals that this human being is walking through, alert, alert. I started with the fly. You know the old saying, shoo fly, don't bother me. Do you know what I do now when flies come around? I take a portion of my food and set it aside and like, here, enjoy. And most of the time they go right there to that spot of food that you set aside and leave yours alone. This is called connecting with the whole. It's just another message of food for thought, family. This is your man, not your boy. Go black to Africa.